Hi, I'm Gary Engler, your socialist grandfather. In the last episode of Economic Democracy or No Democracy, an anti oligarchy manifesto, I asked a critical question: what is the point of an economy? This time, another related question: why is it that for at least the past 30 years, the prevailing wisdom has been that governments are incompetent and therefore must keep their hands off the economy? Whose interest does this opinion serve? We are told any sort of democratic control is bad because it creates distortions in the natural working of the system, as if there was some divine order that was being interfered with. But it's not God's will that is being challenged when democratic control is asserted. Rather, it is the will of the 1% who currently own a vast proportion of the economy and direct it and us in their self interest. There are no mysterious natural forces deciding what gets built, what gets shut down, who loses their jobs, green energy versus fossil fuels. There are only very wealthy people and the managers who work for them. Given that, it is really no surprise that the economy seldom serves the interests of the majority. It serves other masters. The economy follows orders from the people who capitalism says owns it. And it gives the biggest rewards to the ones among them who are the greediest, the most willing to grab huge profits for themselves, while making the rest of us pay for the pollution, ill health, and other forms of destruction their industry causes. Then, then they spread some of those vast profits around to buy politicians, tax deductible think tanks, and media pundits who work to convince us that this form of minority rule is not only good for us, but is in fact natural. But what if, despite all that, we rejected this nonsense and demanded instead an economy that served all of us? How exactly would we accomplish that? Piketty argues for a tax on wealth, and that is a good starting point. But if we really want to fix this, we must go further. When the problem is too much power in the hands of a few, the obvious solution is to distribute that power more widely. We should take away control of the economy from the greedy minority and share it amongst us. The most accurate name for such a system is obviously economic democracy. The exact form such a system might take internationally would depend on each country's history, culture, and level of development. But its essential elements would be one person, one vote instead of $1, one vote decision making in all aspects of the economy, workplace democracy instead of master servant relations, and community instead of corporate control. If we want an economy that serves all people, we must create a system of democratic governance to ensure that happens. Some people might object that this is impossible, but my experience as a union organizer convinces me that most people believe they can run their own newsroom, shop, office, warehouse, factory, delivery service better than their bosses. I heard that all the time. Most people are confident in their abilities, but many doubt the abilities of others. Most believe they are capable of running their own lives, but doubt whether others can, which proves most people are wrong, either about running their own lives or more likely in their judgment of others. Unions and left wing political parties must get back to what we once did, empowering ordinary people. We need to build an economy that makes life better for all people and that maintains a healthy environment. Instead of just demanding higher wages so we can consume more, we must capture the imagination of all to challenge capitalist greed as the basis for organizing our economy. We must promote a vision of expanded democracy and work towards that goal. We must loudly proclaim the need for economic democracy.